Back from the break, and thank you for sticking with us. If you just tuned in, this is Hello Africa Morning Show, and this program is proudly sponsored by Vena Purified Water and Biko Drinks. Now, to begin with, we are starting with the viewers' engagement, and today we are diving into a powerful celebration of female creativity and storytelling with the return of the NDIVA Women's Film Festival. Now, this initiative, launched in 2017, is dedicated to showcasing the incredible talent of women in film. That is, we have directors, we have producers, editors, and beyond. The festival shines a spotlight on films made by women, for women, and about women, creating a vibrant space for networking, collaboration, and also advocacy. Now, after a brief hiatus, the NWFF is back this August at the Gate Institute, Accra, promising an engaging lineup of screenings, workshops, and discussions that aim to inspire and also empower women filmmakers. This festival ensures that women's voices are heard and celebrated across diverse audience. And now, joining us today is Madam Aseye Tamakloe, a film director and also a lecturer at the National Film and Television Institute in Accra, Ghana. Now, her works include award-winning films like Perfect Picture by Shirley Frimpong Manson in 2009, and we have Freetown in 2015 by Garrett Batty, and also When Women Speak in 2022. We have a short video to introduce today's discussion for you. Let's take a look at the video.
Sometimes it's best when you watch the film without knowing the synopsis. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your festival.
Hello, Madam Tamakloe. Welcome to Hello Africa.
Thank you very much. Hello to you too, and thanks for having me.
Thank you too for coming. And I like what I'm about to talk because we are actually coming to showcase what women does in the film industry. But before that, I would like you to share with us the origin of the festival. I mean, we are interested to know what inspired the establishment of the festival and how has its mission evolved over the years.
Okay, so the festival was born out of the need to create a space for the preservation of work for, by, and about women. So I teach in a film school, and over the years I've realized that there's a constant omission of women when it comes to film studies. And it's not a Ghanaian thing, neither is an African, it's a world problem. And there's always the thinking that we are presented like an afterthought. And like you're saying today earlier on about Founders Day, if we really want to discuss Founders Day, I mean, I really, in inverted commas, and the founders, depending on apostrophe S or S, plural, we should not just be talking about the big six. Probably our currency, our money should have other pictures than the big six, you know. So juxtaposing it, the reason why a festival like NDIVA Women's Film Festival is important. This is not the first women film festival in the sub-region, but from Ghana, yes. And of course, we've been saying many things about women's work, women's lives, women's empowerment, etc. And why not also look at the film sector? And also because of how important film is to the development of any country, we underestimate it, but it's a very powerful tool. Hence the need to create such a space where women are themselves, they can present their stories. We see the world through their eyes, because there are ways in which we also see the world, and we should be allowed to tell those stories.
Yeah.
Hence the reason why we have the 3 categories: films by women, so it doesn't matter what genre or what topic, and also a man could be the main character, but it's a woman who is telling that story.
Yeah.
Then we have films by men about women. We had to, give some space to men, because some men have made great films about women.
Yeah.
And then also films by women about women, for women, So all of this culminates into what the festival is about.
Interesting.
So whilst we're getting entertained, we're learning,
Yeah.
we're having conversations that we normally would not have.
Yeah.
So one thing that festival has achieved over the years is create this third space for people to have conversations that they would never have ordinarily on the streets or in their houses, but difficult conversation, and also not so difficult, But then again, to see that in this space of creativity, women belong, and so to inspire younger people that you can do this, because you have come to experience the people who are doing it. They are living. Even if they are dead, their work has been screened, something, so that this delegitimization of what we do, when they say it's in passing, but it's not really recorded. All of this is supposed to, the festival is supposed to, kind of settle some of these things.
That is really interesting. Like you made mention, and we've seen women make significant contribution to the film industry, and which a majority are not seen or are not heard about their work. And I must say, I appreciate that this festival creates the platform to showcase the work of women. But then I would like to know what ways does the festival actually advocate for women in the film industry?
Okay, so we've been around since 2017, and then we went away since COVID, and we're back. But we use the film itself. So we are very particular about the selection of the films we make, because not all advocacy will be carrying of placards and marching the streets. But advocacy comes in different forms. So some films are chosen. So this year, like this, we have a couple of films that are doing advocacy in different forms. One of them is on Saturday from Ethiopia, titled Finding Sally, a story about a young woman who got missing in the 70s, who was from a very bougie family, but decided to become a revolutionary against the government then, and was blacklisted and disappeared, and her family never saw her again. And we tried to find her, through the film. And then we have one film that is The Unbreakables. I can't mention it has a German title, but I'm sorry, which also chronicles the life of German women politicians in the 50s and what they had to go through to just be in parliament and belong. Some of the women even committed suicide in real life. They're just working to be in that space. And then many other films on reproductive health, films on abuse, etc. So all of these things are different forms of advocacy. And also because of the conversations we have after the screening. So people don't just watch the film and move on to the next film. Whether the filmmaker is here or not, we make time to discuss what we've seen, and then in that way, education and different forms of advocacy is happening. So then we have the talk shops. This year we are looking at women in film, an intergenerational conversation. But we're also looking clearly at paying women well for being. It's a major challenge, We're asking sisters to pay sisters well. Brothers to pay sisters well. Just pay the sister well. Period.
Well, that is quite interesting. And as you're mentioning the film that will be screened that day, I saw you make mention of one from Ethiopia and also one from Germany. I mean, it cuts across worldwide. So what's the criteria for your selection and why this diversity?
So in 2017, when we started, we said we wanted to do a festival for African women and women of African descent. Also because in the minority of women existence in the film industry globally, we are also another minority in the minority.
Okay.
So I thought that let's concentrate. And then after the 2017, we had people approach and say, why don't we open it up? Because we also want to make entries. We want to see stories from other parts of the world from women. So we opened it up. And then people, you know, put in their films. And so all of this culminated into the varying films we have. And also our audience are also varied, you know. And so we thought that why not? And so hence the film from Ghana, Ethiopia, Mali, France, Cameroon, all over.
Nice.
Yeah.
I really like that, and I appreciate the diversity of it. Now let's come to the challenges. Just like you made mention, you know, we see it. It is the funding disparities and also representation in key roles, and also being a lecturer. You've seen students pass through under you and then going into the film industry. Probably you may have heard some of the challenges. So if you can share with us, outside the funding disparities and also, women playing key major roles in films, what are some other challenges and how is your festival actually trying to actively support women and then try to address these challenges?
Okay, so, I mean, like you said, the challenges are many. And you mentioned man is always the first. But beyond that, many others. So, issues of representation, what we put in front of the screen, you know, what is projected.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. Because some people also still do not get it. That even if you want to present violence against a woman, there's still a way to go about it so that at the end, the character doesn't look exploited, you know. There are all those dynamics to deal with. Then also there's we ourselves being part of the work. Now sometimes, because it is easy to write a woman off, people think that in the film space women are probably fit for only editing and some things. And so if a woman could do camera and could be given the job and there's a male contender, the director will pick the male first, you know, without even attempting that. Can I just
give a chance or something?
Exactly, and those things exist. And then there's issues of exploitation and harassment, which is like horrible.
Yeah, very.
I mean, beyond horrible. Our last festival, which was in 2019, actually had a session on sexual harassment. You know, because everyday stories come up. And some of the stories will make your uterus move away from places, you know. You know, they are difficult, you know, which it should not be like that. And also, one of the reasons why I think that this festival, as we move forward, grow and get stronger, is to make workspaces available so that if women could collaborate, and that was one of the things in our objectives, that when we meet, I know your project, you know my project, I've seen it, you've seen mine, I'm working on something else, can we collaborate? So then that it is not just that we have to wait for somebody else to give us the job, but we put, you know, things like that. And I think all those things are all the different ways of empowering, because sometimes you need to find another route as to approaching the problem. But I think that as we grow and get stronger, we can push. Thankfully, the affirmative action law is out, and if assented, of course there'll be amendments as time goes on, but all these things should have to feature in, because one thing I also noticed that when we talk about women's empowerment and development, they always forget the people in the arts. You know.
That's very true. I'm really hoping that some of the discussions and also the talks from your festival also impact on our policymakers and also based on their decisions. Now, let's come to this year and this month. NDIVA Festival is happening live this month. I would like to know the theme for this year and also what is the main goal for this year's festival.
So we don't have an exact theme, but we work with a slug line, let our whispers become roars.
Okay.
or let our whispers become roars.
Like a lion. Okay.
Yeah, so we're whispering, but it should become roars, you know.
Head.
It should be, you know, and that all stories matter. So we work with those two, all
Okay.
stories matter. Now, this year is a comeback year,
Okay.
and so we're trying to work within a manageable, you know, situation.
Yeah.
But at the same time, too, we also expect that it should be grand. So, it's a 3-day festival.
Okay.
Normally used to be in November, but also because of elections, etc., we moved it forward. So it's from August 9th, which is a Friday,
Okay.
to August 11th, which is a Sunday. It opens on August 9th at 5 p.m. at the Gateway Institute. And our opening film is from Kenya, titled Shimoni.
Wow.
And then our closing film on Sunday 11th is by Shelifin Pullman, so Chasing Lullaby.
Okay.
You know, and in between is all the ranges from all the other countries I mentioned, South Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, all of that. We have feature films, we have documentary films, we have shorts, we have, you know, shorter features, you know, etc.
Yeah.
And so that's what, and then one of the panels we have this year is celebrating Efwa Sutherland. So Efwa Sutherland, if she was alive, would have been 100 this year. And she has a very iconic play and book titled Edufa. And so because it's a women's film festival and Edufa in a way, and Pomado is, you know, even though Edufa is a title, the story is more about Mpoma Edufa's wife. So we have a nice panel discussing Edufa, storytelling, and celebrating Efwa Sutherland. So all these things are happening.
Great.
In these 3 days.
Right. Also, you made mention you began, or this establishment started in 2017. However, you went for a break due to the COVID-19, and then you're back. I'd like you to share some of the key achievements so far of the NDIVA Women's Festival, Film Festival.
Okay, so one of our key achievements is that people have come to know that women make films.
Very true. Very true.
People have come to know that women also make strong films. And women tell very compelling stories. And women fund films.
Wow.
Because if you critically look at women filmmakers, mostly they are independent filmmakers, which means they work for themselves and they go to look for the money for themselves. Which is not an easy thing, but it's also inspirational. So people have come to know that all these ranges exist. Also, people have come to understand that in doing advocacy, there are many routes to it. Film can be one route to advocacy. Also, that in the space of creatives, women belong, girls belong, and so people can work to become, you know. So those are some of the very, you know, but also that there's a space where you know that every year women can gather, including men, because interestingly, our festival attracts a lot of men. So
and they want to
you'll
see
be shocked the amount of men who show up. Also, like I said, also because of the films we present and how provoking they are. And how they shock you out of your own self, you know. And so people also, I think people also like to find themselves in places that challenge them. And this festival does that. And so you find varied people coming around, you know. And also just that one of the achievements is that we just bring people together. Which is good.
Yeah, very, very good. And I'm really looking forward to participating in this year's festival.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. So what's the future plan after this year?
So we'll come back again next year.
Okay.
But slowly we're working towards growing it, having incubator spaces, having a think tank, you know, being able to actually even fund women's films, you know, etc. Do training, you know, etc. So that's what the festival is looking at to becoming. And as we grow bigger, I think we'll begin to do it every 2 years so that we can actually have a very big festival. Yes.
With lots of activities in there. Now, thank you very much, Madam Tamakloe, for joining us. Before you go, I'd like you to share your experience, personal experience so far, being a director and also a lecturer and also an organizer of this great initiative. Share your experience with us, and also our viewers out there, they want to hear from you. What should they expect when they come? Tell them something sweet, how they can, if there's tickets.
No,
Okay.
so actually, one thing we missed is that all events are for free. One of the reasons why we take our time to do what we do is that to make films accessible to everybody. And also because of the special niche, everything is free. Every screening is free, every event is free, and we always have some free popcorn and water lingering about.
Yeah.
So at least that's, one side attraction. Hopefully in the future we should be able to do more, but in our own small way, this is what we do. But everything is free, And then I'd say that for me, I think I've come this far because of many other women. I'll be very honest that I have a lot more doors opened for me by women over the years, and they've been incredible, and giving me many opportunities, At the same time, too, a lot of learning has happened. There's been tears, tears and blood, but I think that's how the business is. Showbiz is not easy, it's cruel. It's not an easy space. Even when we're in film school, of course, even in film school till date, the statistics are that there are a lot more boys making the entry than girls. Because for some people, even for you to convince your family that you want to study film, that's like another third world war you will fight.
Very true.
You might not even succeed. So I would say that I've been fortunate that I had parents who understood and allowed me, but also that didn't mean that I didn't come with challenges. It did, but it is about how we deal with the challenges and how we move forward. Because that's for the battles. It will come. It's a daily, And some also do swallow you, but the thing is rising every time you fall.
Thank you very much, Madam Tamakloe, for joining us today and sharing your insight with us. I am really hoping to participate in this year's festival. And same goes to you. I really wish to see you there. And thanks to all women supporting other women. I know it's not easy, but we shouldn't give up. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue with the top African news stories. Please stay tuned.